Welcome to the next video in the training series. In this video, we are going to complete an intake form for a new youth entering your care. Next, we will go through using the client search feature to find clients based on various search criteria. Let's get started. Registration. In this example, we are welcoming a new youth named Katarina. Katarina has never been a client of an agency participating in the Missing Youth Saskatchewan network, so we will need to complete a new intake form for her. From the main dashboard, click on Register near the top of the navigation toolbar. First, let's add her photograph. Photos can often be sourced from social media or be taken with their consent. Keeping an up-to-date picture can help speed up the process of locating them in the event they go missing. Under the picture placeholder, click Upload. Select their photo from your device. Now, let's start filling out the form. Don't worry if you don't have every detail. What's important is that you put in everything you have. In our case, Katarina goes by Kat. For her date of birth, you can either click on each part of the date and type it in, or click the calendar icon to the right of the input field to select her birthday. Use the up and down arrow on the right side to scroll through the months. To pick by year, click on the year in the top left to see a list of years. Use your middle mouse wheel or swipe up with your finger to select the year, then the month. Now, we can select the date. If we didn't know Kat's date of birth, we could select the approximate age checkbox and then enter her approximate age in the text field above. But, for our example, we are going to uncheck the box because we know when Kat was born. Continuing on, we know that Kat identifies as female and that her pronouns are she and her. We will also enter her height of 5 feet, 7 inches. Don't be afraid to enter approximate information. What's important is that you enter the best information you have. At the moment, Kat's hair and eyes are brown and she doesn't wear any glasses. For identifying features, she has a small mole on the right side of her chin. This field is a good opportunity to make note of the locations of tattoos or birthmarks or anything that may help identify them in the worst-case scenario. In our case, we're going to note that Kat is of a medium build. Next, we will enter the addresses of any places she frequently lives. Kat will be moving into one of our homes, so we will enter the address of that home in the text field. If your client has a phone number they can be reached at, enter it in one of the client phone fields. Otherwise, enter the phone numbers for the best place to call in order to reach your client. If your client is attending school, enter the name of the school. Kat is attending the Tommy Douglas Collegiate close to her home. If you have any of their social media handles, enter them in the next field. The missing person checkbox can be used to flag the client record on the main dashboard. This option should be used to alert everyone logging in for their shift that your client is missing and to provide assistance. We will also select their ethnic origin. Under MSS status, we will select their current placement with the Ministry of Social Services. If you're unsure of the client's status, be sure to ask your supervisor. In our case, Kat is in the long-term care of social services. So, we will select the long-term ward option. Since Kat is new, she hasn't had a caseworker assigned to her from the agency. In our case, Marlene is in charge of the day-to-day operations, so she will update the record once a caseworker has been assigned to Kat's case. Sylvia is the social worker assigned to Kat from social services, so we will add her contact information to Kat's profile. Last, we will fill out the contact details for the person responsible in our agency for Kat, which in our case is Marlene. If this contact is available 24 hours a day, you can click the checkbox. When a police report is created from a risk assessment, this information is added to it. Next, take a second to review everything and make sure it's correct. Then, click Save. You will then be returned to the main dashboard. You can see at the bottom of the client list that Kat has been added to the client list. Now that we've covered a new intake registration, let's go through the process of locating existing clients in the system. From the main dashboard, click on Client Search near the top of the navigation toolbar. In the top area, you can filter the client list by various parameters. Under the Select Client Type dropdown, there are several options for choosing which client types you would like to see. For example, you can choose to only display active clients. You can filter by clients that are no longer part of the Missing Youth Network and have been archived. You can choose to only show clients that have been marked as missing in their client profiles. Or, you can choose to list all of the clients in your agency. Let's choose all clients, then click the search button to update the results. We now have a list of every client that has ever been in our agency. If we ever wanted to get more specific, we could search by name. You can enter either the full name of a person or just a first or last name. Let's say we wanted to see every person with the last name of Anderson. We would type Anderson into the name field and then click Search. We now have a list of every client with the last name of Anderson. Let's refine the search to only include Andersons who are active in our care. We will click the Active Client option under Select Client Type, then click the Search button again to update the results. We can see the list has been updated to only show active clients with the last name of Anderson. We could also search by the current address of a client in our system. Let's search now by all active clients who live in our home on Maxwell Crescent. First, we'll choose Active Client as the client type. Then, clear out the name. And next, type Maxwell Crescent under Address. With the search parameters now set, we'll click Search to update the list. Now, all of the youth who are currently active and living in our Maxwell Crescent home will show in the list. Next, we'll search for all clients who are long-term wards of the province. First, we'll clear out the parameters of our last search. Then, we'll choose all clients from the Client Type dropdown, and then choose Long-Term Ward from the MSS Status dropdown. Finally, click Search to update the results. We now have a list of every client who was ever a long-term ward, regardless of their current status. Let's refine that search once again to only include active clients. We'll choose Active Client from the Client Type dropdown, and then click Search again to update the list. Finally, we can also search by phone number. Let's search for active clients who have our agency's phone number listed under their profile. First, we'll clear the other parameters, choose Active Client from the client type and then enter our agency's phone number. Now, click the Search button to update the list again. The list is now updated. Congratulations! You have now completed the registration and client search tutorial. To continue, the next video in the training series you should watch is called Risk Assessments and Police Reports.